singing, guys.
Yeah.
Everybody's popping on. Hey, everybody.
Good morning.
We approved the waiting list. I love seeing all those faces pop up, and I think we're live in Team Awesome too.
We are.
I think so. Good morning, everybody. We're so glad that you guys are here. We have some exciting stuff to share with you. Welcome, welcome.
Hey, guys. So who loved June? Could I see some hands? It was amazing. Okay. So we wanted to do something for you so that, you know, when we bring everyone in June, we got a lot of work to do in July to actually get them successful, because a lot of them, they maybe came into Plexus because they wanted the results that they heard they could get, and they wanted the good deal. Now we need to let them know how truly successful they actually can be and how many people have had that success, and really build up their belief. And so we want to let you know what we have for them and how you can plug them in. And we also want to, for you, you're coming into July, which is going to be another big month. And we want you to, like I explain to my team all the time, right now, momentum is like a river. And right now that river is high, it's springtime, and it's going fast. You want to get into the river right now. And so we want you to set the goals that you tend to think that only other people can get. You know what I mean? The goals that you feel like are never something that you can reach. I want you to set those kind of goals, the ones that only other people ever accomplish in your head. So we're going to talk about how to do that in a bit, but first, we just want to celebrate all of the success, and I'm going to let Marge, do you have anything quickly to say here?
Exactly that. I think like momentum is such a beautiful thing, and it doesn't come very often because we work hard to make it happen, right? We create momentum, and momentum creates its own energy. And so we're just like, okay, the treadmill is running. We're not getting off now. And so you want to bring as many alongside of you as what you can, and just watch what happens. Like, yes, June was just like, whoa, right? And imagine the last day. Like, never ever wait or think, oh, it's too late. 10,000 people joined in the last day, probably more. Like, the numbers weren't even all in. So a lot of big things can happen with 10,000 people. But yes, let's celebrate a little bit.
Okay, Eva, take us away, and I'm going to rename myself.
Hey, Eva Schmidt. Okay, so first of all, I want to say I get to work with the best women ever. I'm so proud of the gals that are going to be sharing today on the Zoom. They're going to be sharing some really awesome tips for you to reach your goals. And we just realized as we were popping on, we were giving each other our new titles. They're all their new titles. So we have Marge, who is now Miss Sapphire, of course, and Sherry, who is Sapphire, and Sarah, who is a brand new Emerald. Oh my word. Sheila Cron hit Senior Ruby. She didn't think she would be able to do it, and she just did it. Samantha put a plan into action and went gold. Like, she's going to tell you how to plan for that. So those are the girls that are going to be sharing with you guys today. We are so excited. So I'm going to go ahead. You guys, I wish I could name all the people that ranked up on our team. We had 1,800 people join our team. We had bazillion rank ups, and I think I need to like go live and name all these names sometime, but there's like no time to do it today. But I do want to name at least, let me see the list that I have here. I want to name like who our, let's start from the top. So Marge is sharing where, go ahead.
One thing,
Yeah.
You guys know how to rename yourself on the Zoom? If you do, put your name and your new rank or what you did.
Yes.
That'll just be fun. Okay.
That's a cool idea. So Marge and Sherry are 2 new Sapphires. We have never on Team Awesome had 2 new Sapphires in a month. And then our Emeralds. Here's our Emeralds. We had 7 of them. We've never had more than 1 in a month. Okay, we had 7 last month. 7 brand new Emeralds. That is Crystal Cole. Woohoo! That's on Marge's team. Jimmy Lou Bourne, Melissa Siebert, Tracy Schellenberg, Catherine Eagles, Sarah Cron, and Lisa Clausen. Those are your brand new jewels on our team. So, and senior rubies, we had awesome list of senior rubies, guys. Sheila Cron, Charlotte Jost, Lynn Jansen, Sarah Neufeld, Melinda Fair, Brianna Spruitt, Helen Martins, Amanda Fogan. She double ranked, by the way. She went Ruby and Senior Ruby. I hope I do not miss any names, you guys. Please forgive me if I do. Angela Lowen and Melanie Gall. Like several of these went Ruby last month and then they went Senior Ruby this month. I'm saying this month as if we're still in June, but we're not. And then rubies, I'm just gonna name the rubies yet too. We have Amy Unger, I'm sure she's on here. Esther, how do you say her last name? Sherry, how do you say Esther's last name?
Maljars.
Malajar.
You did it.
Yes. Sherry Grant, Leona Jansen, Gina Minkley, Jenny Dirksen, Julie McNeil, Katie Hines, Lisa Schulk, Julie Peltier, and Paulina Hill. Those are our rubies. Like, you guys, that is amazing. Do I read the senior golds too? There's about the same amount of list of senior golds.
Yes.
You want senior golds? Okay, senior golds. Katharina Neufeld, she like tripled her points from the month before. Kimberly Bueller, Lisa Worth, Berlin Byers, Alicia Fair, Melissa Lyle, Stacy Weens, and Nicole Crawford. Amy Andre, Carrie Belcher, Tammy Hanansky, Sherry Oldham, Maxine Peltier, Jocelyn Armbruster, I hope I'm saying the names right, and Cheryl Norleen. Those are our senior golds. So the gold list, guys, okay, there's the gold list, and there is the silver list. So we would probably be here for a while. I'm gonna post them in Team Awesome. There's just so many. I have goosebumps. There's over 100 silvers.
Can
So
you imagine lives changed?
Yes, so many lives changed. Congratulations, you guys. This is just insanity what you guys have accomplished. Take that wave that you're seeing in Plexus right now and on our team, like, take it. And if you don't believe that you can do that this month, take the wave that somebody else has done and ride on it and borrow their belief. That's what most of these people did, was like borrow somebody's belief because someone else said they could. You guys can rank up this month.
Yes, that totally happened. And Sarah, we have a few more people to recognize yet. Right?
Yes, we do. Sarah has a list of people who commented on the post. So whenever you want.
I have the list of silvers to golds who commented. That's what I was supposed to do, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. And please forgive me. I am the worst at pronouncing names. Like, it's going to be really bad. Okay. Silvers. Here's a long list of silvers. Whitney Williams, Martha Wids, Brenda Barch, Ashley Marietta, Julie Bryson, Shelby Hipseg.
Ooh,
I'm bad. Stacy Ho, Shirley Rempel, Carol Metke. She re-ranked silver. Nikki Dottie, Manon Brandt, Tabitha Lyons, and Tabitha Lyons fast-arted silver, and Marilyn McClay. Those are all silvers that commented or were tagged in the post. Senior silvers, Rebecca Macy, Brittany Davis, Rosie Schlegel, Colleen Penner, Rachel Brieselar, re-ranked silver, Mallory Banting, Abe Cron, Kayla Darnell, Carrie Clausen, re-ranked silver. Senior silver. And then we have a list of people who ranked senior silver and gold. Rachel Mulsan, Jennifer Howlett, Teresa Nahil, and Barb Fetching. They all ranked senior silver and gold.
Wow.
And for golds, we have Leah Marks, Jocelyn Islam, Jenny Musika, Kathy Tomlinson, Holly Warren, Jane Ireland, Catherine Van. Okay, I misspelled it on my phone, so I'm not even gonna try to do that. Krista Meisner and Carrie Lemo. And Krista Pullman ranked silver, senior silver, and gold.
Wow.
You just
Wow.
gotta be like Victor Antonio and just pronounce them just real cool, and then it will be good. So all of you, I want you to hear from Sarah. She's our new Emerald. And I want you to understand that she was the first to decide to go for Emerald last month. And what happens is one person decides to be brave and they take that stand. And then other people go, oh, if she can do that, well, maybe then I can too. And so some more people take that stand, which creates this momentum, which then other people go, oh, this is happening. Okay, I could do it too. And so they stand up. So when one person stands up, all of a sudden other people start standing up. And I want you to understand that and actually grasp how huge it is for you to stand up and set a big goal. So Sarah, can you just share a little bit of your story? Because you had to stand up real brave.
I knew that I would need the whole month. I knew I would need 30 days. And it started back in March when we ranked Senior Ruby. My husband and I both said we're going to go Emerald in June. And so we worked towards that. In April and May, we worked towards growth on our team, helping rank ups. And then before June even started, at the very end of May, we wrote down, and maybe this wouldn't work if you're going diamond or sapphire, because it's a lot of people, but we wrote down everybody's names and who they had on their teams. And then we saw clearly who was so close to silver, who was so close to senior silver, who could easily go gold. Like, wow, I didn't know she only needed 3 people. If we wrote it all down, we broke it all down into who exactly we wanted to help go silver and what those numbers were. And when it was all broken down, we were like, yes, June is the month. It was confirmation that our goal was good and we can do this. And we started day one. Day one, we made a incentive for our team for everybody who moves up their subscription to 15th or earliest gets, we were sending out sample packs. So a bunch of subscriptions got bumped to earlier in the month. And we did incentives throughout the whole month. We changed it up. We did all kinds of fun incentives to just people to bump up PV, people to order, people to sign up. And yeah, and it of course always looks way different than you think it's going to. The people who you think are going to do something and then someone else just blows your mind and does something else. And my little sister Anna went silver. I didn't even expect that. Like, it's just amazing things happen when you trust the process. Like, sharing authentically, being you, knowing the value you have to offer and helping your team to share that value and share that hope. The process is good. The compensation plan is good. So trust that that will work. That will happen in all the right timing. And oh, another big thing for me was belief. Like, it was a plan and I knew we were going to do it, but the entire month was very emotional up and down because it was a huge goal. Emerald meant so much to us for a very long time. But even though I doubted myself, probably more than half of the time I doubted this was even going to happen because, I mean, I haven't gone Emerald before. Who am I to think I'm actually going to go Emerald now? But regardless of how I was feeling, I knew that my feelings are not the truth. The truth is that this is possible and I'm going to go talk to one more person. No matter how I feel, I wouldn't talk to one more person. So I don't know. Is there anything else I should share on that? I think just continuing to keep moving forward, regardless of how you're feeling. And I also always tell myself that breakthrough always happens when you keep going, when you push through, when you don't quit, right when it gets tough. That's when the good things happen. So that's what I trusted in. And I trusted in God's timing because this was a goal we had in our minds for quite a while. So we knew there was a reason that June was the month and we believed it regardless of how we were feeling. And yeah.
I love that. I love that. I have to add a little bit to that because that just made me like goosebumps and like all the emotions, because that's exactly what happens, guys. Like, when you start this, when you look ahead, like you think about the path that's ahead, there's no light there. You're just claiming solid belief. You're just like, okay, I don't know how, but hey, they say it works, right? And then you're blindly stepping into the next step. And that big thing that stood out for me, what Sarah said there was, regardless of how you feel, just go message one more person, right? When you learn to trump that, like to cover those feelings and not let the feelings direct you, and you stay consistent, like it's heads down, but it happens. Like me and Sherry both woke up on the 28th and we were like, oh. And then we deflated for a bit. But you know what? The whole thing in my brain always is, if you are growing so much, this is a process of labor. You know how when all you moms here, you know how when your labor starts and you're like excited, we're gonna have a baby. All of a sudden you're like, oh, I don't want to do this. No, take me away. I'm done. I really didn't want a baby at all. That's what happens, you know, and you got to finish the process. And so you just put your heads down, and we watched Sarah do this. Like, it was so inspiring to watch. I loved it. Okay, go on, Sherry. I just had to say that.
I love that. Eva, I feel like you might have a few things to say just because you watch Sarah. Do you have anything you'd like to add, or anything in your mind right now? You don't have to. I'm just wondering.
It was, yes, I do. It was beautiful to watch her because she did exactly that. If she felt like I can't do it, she would say to me, I don't know. Like, I don't know. And then she would say, I'm just like relieving some of my feelings here. And then I'm back to work. Like, do not take what I'm saying to you as I'm stopping or I'm quitting. Like, she would affirm herself, even when she was talking to me for encouragement, even though she wouldn't like let herself get down, even in messages to me. So it was just so inspiring to watch her go for it. I saw her put in work every single day in that whole entire month. And I heard her have her most empowering songs, gospel music, awesome uplifting music on the whole entire time. If you hear her in voice message, that music was playing. I saw her like reading her affirmations on her wall every single day. What God sees her, how God sees her, she would read that. I went to her house, she had them on her mirror in her bathroom. All of the things that was playing in her mind, that was her mindset, and that's what she was visualizing the whole entire month. She was not allowing anything else to come into her mind. So that was I'm so proud of you, Sarah.
Okay, so I know that many of you had huge goals and rank ups, and you relate to this. And so just share that with your teams to encourage them to do what you just did. And okay, so I want to let you know what to do moving forward, what we have planned. I'm going to share my screen here so that you can see the plan. Can you see this? Okay. So I just uploaded this into Team Awesome in the file. If you are a person that likes calendars and things, you can print this off and use it. So today is the 2nd, and we're calling it the Team Vision Zoom. And then on the 7th and the 9th, next week is the 2 Zooms that we have for all of our new people. So the meet and greet is when we talk to them about how to use the products, what to expect, just that perspective. I hope that we can get Jessica on there. If she can, I haven't got that confirmed. And then at the end of that Zoom, we'll invite them to come to the next Zoom to know how to make some money with Plexus, because there's a lot of money on the table this month. And people are needing this. Like, we were talking to Andrew, and he was saying that we're pretty sure that the government checks are ending in July here. People are needing to make a decision this month. They have money right now to put into a business, and they could get some good money. So this is a huge need that people have, and Plexus is so generous to be giving that to people, giving that leg up. Okay, so then the next week is when we're going to help all of our new people know how to share. There'll be a post every day in Team Awesome, and we'll have some fun prizes for them and just things to help. But if we can really focus here, that's where the momentum is going to be coming for the end of the month. And then on the 14th, we'll have another Zoom to just guide them as they share, and just really be there with them as they share, like a guided sharing Zoom or power hour, whatever you like to call those. And then we're going to have a YouTube event for them to invite to on the Thursday. There'll be a YouTube event every Thursday. Oftentimes that Amber is the one leading those. So people always have an event to invite people to. And then we'll have another Team Awesome huddle on the 24th, just before Magic Week. So that's the whole plan. And this leads people from, they just came into Plexus, you invite them to this team, and they will get to see this bigger vision, this bigger picture. They'll get to see the culture. It's really hard to express the amazingness of culture unless someone is there. So invite them to that first one, because this is the one that's going to really help them move into the next, wanting to come to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. I just got, okay. So this is here for you. Print it off and write the names down of all the people that you want to make sure that you invite. So the Team Awesome group, write down everyone that you need to be making sure you get to these Zooms. And then the YouTube events, you can write down all the names of the people you want to make sure you're inviting to those as well. Okay, so that's what we have planned for everyone. The other thing I want you to say is that, well, if you're on my team, you have the One Plexus Welcome. I think Jessica has that as well. If you don't have something like that, make sure that you're going into Gut Health and Happiness, getting stories for them, that you're inviting them to events. You need to focus on building their belief and really set that up in front, that you're going to be sending story to them to encourage them. Just like what you probably often do before people sign up, you're sending them stories and doing all that. You got to do that after right now, because so many people came in without all of that. And even if they did come with all that, somehow when they actually get their products in their hand and they're actually using them, they need to be reminded and encouraged again. So that's going to be the biggest thing that's going to keep them here, that's going to help them see the big picture. And then I want you to follow up at least 4 times in their first 30 days, at least 4 times. The first time when they get their products, make sure they get to know how to take them, make sure they're taking their water. Follow up at least the next week to make sure how are they actually taking them, because just because you tell them how to take it doesn't mean that they're actually taking it like that. So find out, how are you actually taking it? Find out, you want to help them get an accountability partner, because they'll be 80% more successful if they do. So you'll help them share that. Talk to them about detox. But remember, if you talk to them about detox when they get their product, they're going to forget you talk to them about detox when it actually happens. So talk to them again about it, like at least the 3rd week, because that's often when it happens. And then the 4th week, that 4th follow-up, they're going to be having a subscription going through. They maybe need to adjust their products with how much they're taking. They maybe need to take more. So you want to be working with them with that. Make sure they know they have perks. They'll have like 250 perks or something. So these are the follow-ups that you need to be doing, and just talking to them and finding out how they're feeling and connecting them connect them to your team, and do like with a chat, and just connect with friendship and friend each other and stuff like that. Does Eva or Marge, anything you want to add to that?
I love that you mentioned that you connect them in. I think giving them a place to land that they can come in and feel our community is going to be what potentially keeps so many of them there. And like with any decision that we make starting something new, we need to see other people, right? We need to see, oh, she's doing it. Well, then this, I'm going to have to keep going too. Because sometimes the first little while can be a little bit feeling alone. And what am I doing here? And their belief isn't built in the product yet like ours is. And so we really, really have to pour our belief and show all those stories. When Sherry talked about those follow-ups, I often love to go grab a story that is very similar to theirs and say, look at this. Like, there's so much hope for you here. I'm so excited for what's going to happen, because you are laying the path out for them, right? And then just bringing them into the community, giving them a place at our table. All those things bring value that so many other, you're never going to walk into a health food store, pick up a bottle of vitamins, and they're going to call you and say, how are you doing? That's not going to happen. So we want to do that for them.
Yeah, we want to turn around. Just imagine we've got this big party. It's a fun party. And we've just told everybody about this fun party. Well, at some point you need to turn around and welcome them and make them feel welcome at your party. If you keep on running out and getting more people and never making them feel welcome, they're going to start feeling like maybe we came to the wrong party. I don't know. She's not here. So make sure that you welcome them and make them feel like they want to go get their friends to bring them to the party. So we need to just hold the horses just a little bit, turn around, welcome these people, bring them in, help them want to do this with us so that they understand the party is not in the building, the party is going to get people, okay? And we are the party when we're going and helping people come. So just, that's my mental picture for you.
And I just want to quick say something. If you're new here and you haven't heard us talk about detox before, you might be like, why are they so excited about detox? Like, why is this such an awesome thing? When you maybe imagine detox to be like a headache or feeling sluggish, and that we are super excited about detox here at Plexus, because that means it's working. That means toxins are coming out. Toxins that will cause future health issues are now leaving your body. So when you talk to your new person about detoxing, be excited for them, because it is not a thing that is bad. It is a thing that is helping them to their next level of health. So just remember to be excited about detox. Yes,
You want to see shifts happening. I don't care if they're fun shifts or difficult shifts. I want to see a shift happening. That's what I'm looking for. And if I see any shift, I'm like, there's success. Okay, we're going to move on to Sheila. And Sheila's just going to share, well, she's done some amazing work. She's gone like ranking up every month for the last 3 months or something. Like, I think that's what it is. Anyway, I'll let her share her story and just share with you her tip for success like that.
Okay, thanks, Sherry. I'm excited to share. A little nervous at the same time, which is funny, but because this is such a big deal, and I always told, sorry, my watch is talking to me. I always told myself that, yeah, Sheila, you're going to be a diamond someday. You will be a diamond someday. And I always believed it. But when you get to start taking those steps, it feels surreal. Like, if anybody has heard my story before, I was at senior gold and below for 4 years. And it was hard because I had to do so much brutal personal growth. Because for one, I had no network. For two, I was not a leader. 3, I was a negative person. And so I had to grow into becoming a leader that was worthy of a senior Ruby team, a leader that could lead them properly. And so I had to write it down, because in April, I re-ranked senior gold. And I had been, like, if I think back, in January, I was at 160 points. 160 points, which is very low. And I felt I felt horrible about myself. And I did not feel that, like, I was ashamed of where I was. But I started doing some really deep learning on shame and how I am worthy, on being a true leader and who God sees me to be. And so then in April, I just took it and I said, we're going to re-rank this month. But the one thing I did different that month is I didn't make it visual. And then come May, I was actually talking to Janelle, our other amazing Emerald leader. And at the middle of the month, she sent me this picture that had an open spot for my face, and it said ranked to Ruby. And I was like, you're kidding, right? I was like, you're kidding. She's like, no, you should claim this. You can do this, Sheila. And you have to realize she gains nothing from doing that for me. She's a sideline leader. I'm not under her. She gains absolutely nothing from that. And that meant a lot to me. Like, my mom did that every day. But to realize that other people were seeing that I was growing too was a big deal. And so I actually took her example and I made my own, and I'll show it to you guys. And I didn't believe it. I did not believe this at all for a very long time. It says ranked to Ruby, hit double stimulus, and like developed a certain amount of senior silvers and golds. And I put it on my screensaver for my phone so that every time I picked up my phone and it opened up, I saw it every single time. And a lot of time I would ignore it. A lot of time I would pretend that it wasn't there. Sometimes I'd laugh at it because it was so audacious. And I was like, this is crazy. This is crazy. But then the end of the month came and I had been working and working and working. And it started becoming more real. But my mom also knows the truth behind it because she's the person that I message and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, am I like, is this legitimate? Like, can I actually do this? Am I actually capable of this? But every time I opened my phone, I saw that picture every single time. And we went past Ruby, which was crazy. And then the beginning of June came and I was like, well, we did that. We made that happen. Maybe I should try it again. Like at first Senior Ruby was like, that's really scary. Like, but at the same time, I grew by 230 points in May. And so I was like, well, if I add just another 20 some points to that, we would hit Ruby. We would hit Senior Ruby. And so I was like, we're going to put this in a picture again. And I did the same thing again. I made another picture. It said ranked to Senior Ruby. I put my goals under it. And I was like, we can do this again. And for the majority of the month, I had morning sickness and really bad fatigue, and I was not feeling well. And so I was like, this is a joke. This is not going to happen because I am not at my A game right now. But I kept opening my phone and seeing that picture. Every single day I saw it, and it was solidifying a belief in me that I didn't even know it was doing. It was affirming that I was capable of this. It was affirming that it was possible for me. And one thing, I was listening to a book this morning, and I felt like it just really stood out for this moment. And he said that things are scary. Like the first time making that graphic on my phone and believing that I could go for a goal that I had been working for 4 years was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying. I did not believe that I was capable. I did not believe that I was worthy. None of it. But he said a parachuter that's in training, the first time he jumps out of an airplane, he's terrified. He's terrified. But that doesn't mean he's not going to do it. And the more he does it, the easier it gets and the less scary it gets. So I made myself another graphic for this month because it's starting to get less scary and it's starting to become more, I can do this. I am capable of great things. And the more I uplift my leaders, the stronger we are going to grow as a team. And if you do that, if you make it visual, I love what Ify said about Sarah, about how her affirmations were all over the house and how she was reading them and she was affirming them and she was believing it. The more what you focus on grows. If you're going to focus on the good and the positive, it is going to grow because you are watering it. If you're going to focus on the negative and the broken, like I did for such a long time, I focused on the things that I wasn't good on. I focused on the things that I wasn't strong at instead of focusing on my strengths. What you focus on grows. So if you have a goal this month and make it, I love the BHAG, BHAG. Make it a big, hairy, audacious goal. Believe that you can do more than is even possible. My goal for this month is big, hairy, and audacious. But I am looking at it every single day and I'm going to work. I'm going to work, do the work and believe that God's going to do the rest because it's not up to me. I'm just going to do the work and I'm going to pour my belief into people and it's going to happen and it can happen for you guys too.
Yes, I love that, Sheila. You know how to speak words. You're so good. And like I tell my team, because this is how I picture it. I used to only imagine that I could grow so much. So I would bring this little bucket to God and I'd be like, I can do this much. And he was like, no, I want you to bring as big of a bucket as you possibly can haul over to me. And he'll fill it up. He's the one that fills it. We're just bringing the bucket and the capacity. So, and more just receiving, because you would be surprised how often we resist receiving something. Okay. So I'm going to let Samantha talk next because she was at Super Silver the month before. And last month she ended at like 140 points. So she grew by like 90 or whatever points that is. And Samantha is she's really good at putting things on paper and making them visual and tangible. And so I'm going to let her just talk about how do I set that goal and put it into a plan that I can actually start getting that capacity there.
Yeah. All right. Hey, everyone. I am so excited to be here today. And it just blows my mind that I get to do it with all these amazing ladies. Like, what even? I'm gold. If you don't know my story, I've been with Plexus for 5 years, and I've been interested in building a business for 3 years, but I haven't been committed. And that is a huge shift. And I'd encourage you to dig into that more. So tactically, really quick, we're going to say you set your goal for gold. I'm going to speak to those who are trying to get there. So you set your goal first, right? And then if you have people that are interested or thinking about committing to working their business or wanting to get their products paid for, talking to those people and figuring out what their goal is for the month is your first step. And so you set your goal, and then you find out what kind of your team's goals are. And sometimes that's a lot bigger than the goal you set, which is fantastic. So breaking it down for them into how they're going to get there. How many people are they recruiting? How many asks are they doing a day? How many follow-ups are they doing? And mapping it out for them, like literally, like, hey, so you're recruiting 6 level 1s or 9 level 1s, and you want, you want to add how many accountability partners or how many silvers to get them to that goal that they've set. And so mapping that out for them, and like literally line by line, putting names and leaving blanks and having it mapped out for them. And then also mapping the money for them and their potential income, I found is absolutely life-giving. And it also helps you as a leader to figure out if they've got some mindset blocks around money as well. And because that is sometimes a huge thing. I know that was a huge thing for me, even though I teach budgeting and finance. That was something that I've really had to dig into. And so then you might have set your goal, but by the time you have your team's goals, you might actually have more of like a push goal, which with the incredible momentum we have going on, you might want to think about that a little bit more. And so mapping that out for yourself. Okay, so what would that look like? What's my goal in terms of personal enrollments and, silvers and accountability partners or senior silvers, whatever, and to get to that. And then you get to work like you're doing it by yourself, and you encourage your team and you check in with your team and you help them reach their goals, but you work to get to gold like you're doing it by yourself. And because you don't know where the cards are going to fall or what's going to happen for other people. And so you go all in and you don't stop. Literally until the clock strikes midnight or 10, whatever. And even then you don't stop. In May, I wanted to rank up to gold in May, and there was a lot of mindset stuff I had to work through, but I came to the conclusion on the last day that it wasn't going to happen. I had gotten so many no's. I had nobody else on my list. And I was like, so what can I do to set myself up for next month? And what can I do to take care of the people I have to the best possible ability? And so I spent time messaging new people, sending, thank you videos and check-ins and like all the extra things that I could think of to do to continue to build that community and that team. And that was kind of like a huge turning point. And then, continuing to check in and just don't give up. And so then the other thing I do is I set goalposts. So if your goal is to get to gold and you're maybe below super silver, and this month with the bonuses and stuff we have going on, so a goal post or a mile marker of, okay, I want to, recruit 3, by this point, and I want to, I need to, where's my halfway mark, and those different goalposts, so that you're not just thinking about the big goal, but like, what are those little goalposts or mile markers along the way to get there? And then just that belief, like what Sheila's talked about and everybody else, it's 80% mindset, 20% tactical, trust the system, and these amazing ladies that we have in place. and have grit, because you, like what Marge said at the beginning, you know, so we don't necessarily see the light, right? The fear is going to tag along, but step into courage and be courageous, because you're made for more and you're made of more. And I know that you can do it. Okay. That's all I got.
So good. And I just want to say, so that last day, she was like, I don't know if we're going to go gold. She ended at 140 points. Like, what even? Like, what?
Yeah.
So just the whole don't stop till the clock turns.
And don't give up on your team. Like, that was, so this month, like, I woke up on the last day at 95 points. I needed one more. I had a really good list. I was determined to get there. But I kept checking in with my team, and all of a sudden it finally happened for one of my team members. I had encouraged her one more time, do that magic post with this, looking for the 6 people. She signed up 7 people in one day. I don't even know, like, it blew up. So don't give up on your team, no matter how, like, where things are falling apart, what's happening, whatever. I actually ended at 145 points, and it, like, yeah, I don't even know. So
Okay. So I hope you feel ready for July and you start feeling like, okay, we're going to get off this Zoom. We're going to start putting these numbers out. Janelle told me, or showed me, her wall of stickies. So that's what I did. I've got stickies all across my wall here so I can visualize and see what's going on. Because just my back office, I'm like, what was that again? I have to redo it again, refigure it again. So I just put it all over the wall. Okay, now let's talk about Leaders Retreat. I'm going to give this to Marge. Marge, can you share how exciting Leaders Retreat is and how
I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited for this one. This is going to be like the highlight, and to start 2021 with something like this is just like, oh. Okay, think about this. There's several things that I was thinking about, what am I going to share to create belief in people that have never won a free trip, kind of, you know, when you get to that, when I first came to Plexus, and the very first time I said to John, I'm going to take you to Arizona to the convention that they have once a year, he laughed, and it really bothered me. I was like, dude, I can do this. I was offended that he laughed at me, and I was like, yeah, I know we're not traveling kind of people, but I sure would love to be. It wasn't in our realm. There was never money for things like that. And so many people live in that reality, right? And so I want you to put all that misbelief and all those lies and all that doubt away. And I want you to look, like Sherry said before, all these people are doing it. Why could you not? Right? Plexus is there. People are coming. We have 2 massive solutions for the biggest needs of the world right now. So do not underestimate that. Do not underestimate that. So if you're going to make this about yourself, and if you're going to be like, oh, well, we don't do things like that, I'm never going to win a trip, you won't. So that's exactly what Sheila talked about. What you focus on grows, right? But if you're going to focus on, I can share with that friend, and I know that she knows a whole bunch of people. She's really good at, like, she really likes a healthy lifestyle. I could talk to that person. Oh, she works at that and that place. She knows a lot of people. Create a market. Getting to Leaders Retreat this year is not hard. If you have seen the format of the contest, it is very simple. It is well laid out steps, 800 credits, which is not a lot. Many of you already did that in June. And so when you're scared of that goal and you're thinking, okay, this doesn't happen to me, just go back and look at what you've already done. What you've already done is what you do again. You know, it's just repetition. It's just sharing and bringing in more people. Like we talked about the community, like we talked about, Sherry said, okay, let's turn this party around. We're here to help them, right? And it's like creating that environment where everyone wants to be. Okay, I want to shift it a little bit and talk a little bit about, why do we want to go to Leaders Retreat? Okay, this I swallow big over, because I literally have a hard time. And believe me, going to an Emerald Extravaganza as a jewel is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Like, we've gone to Maui 3 times. It is like, you can't explain how amazing it is. And Plexus spoils their people like nobody's business, literally, for real. Take my word. But Leaders Retreat was always of my favorite places of community because the people that had the passion, that had the empathy and the caring, and that were building teams that were working together, they were supporting each other, they were uplifting, encouraging, those people all came together. And so the whole vibe of that Leaders Retreat was just genuine, amazing, incredible people. Yes, it feels like a huge hug. It's just like, you can't get that in a different environment. And so it was interesting because I was talking to an old friend, and they had won a trip through sales. He was in farm equipment sales, and they had won a trip to some kind of conference. And she said, oh yeah, we did one of them once. We're never doing that again. It was the most awkward thing ever. And I said, why? And she said, well, we just were smacked into a big group of people that we didn't even know. And it was like in Vegas, and we didn't even like Vegas. And so no, I'm never doing that again. And I was like, oh my goodness, you should experience Plexus parties and Plexus trips, because that whole community that we're building here today, one person at a time, all moves together. And we're all going to go to Arizona in January, right? Like, and it's so doable. It is so doable. I just have this vision of what they're going to be doing. We know corporate loves having their people there. Arizona is going to be painted pink. Like, I can just see what's going to happen. So I want you to think of several things that we talked about here. I want to reiterate what Samantha was saying, because there is mindset stuff in our brains that we often feed more than what we think we do. And subconsciously, we're telling ourselves things that we're feeding belief into. And yet our words in our mouth say, oh yeah, I'm going to Leaders Retreat. Okay, but take care of this first. Take care of what's going on between your ears, and make sure that you're super aware of what you are telling yourself, because that is going to be of utmost importance. I saw people pull out goals at the very last 2 days of the month that had not claimed belief, and they made it happen. Like, big things can happen when you start claiming your belief. Number 2, I want you to, like Samantha said, put the plan into action. Map out the course. Put that pin in your GPS. Look at what it takes to get you there. Bring as many people as you can. Speak this belief into your team and tell them, we're all going to Arizona in January. Like, you're coming with me. Like, this is happening. Do not create any doubt or I'm not sure if I can do that. No, there's none of that. You set the course, you put the map or the plan into the map there, and that tells you where to go. Envision your GPS telling you at every turn of where you're going, and that destination is there. And you guys are going to experience something like, I know a lot of you have been at Leaders Retreat. There was a cruise one year. I know San Diego was incredible. These are experiences that are going to build your team. They're going to create belief. They're going to be bringing such a huge belief in so many areas, in the products, because just look at the mass amount of people that are like thriving because of what we have, right? In the company, just look at how Plexus takes care of us, and in our people, like all of us. So I'm going to leave that there with you. You need 800 credits. The charts of what the credits are valued at are simple and easy. Go open your email, put all those stickies and affirmations on your wall, on your screensaver. I am going to Leaders Retreat. We're going to see you in Arizona, okay?
Yes.
I want to be there.
Like, just think when you set that goal and that lifts the list, your team is like, oh, could I too? That's what happens. And then you might probably, you won't just go to Leaders Retreat. You'll earn the shopping spree instead.
There you go.
You'll go to Leaders Retreat this month. You'll get that done this month. And then the next month you'll get it. So you earn the other, I think you get a free trip by then or something, like a free flight or something. And then the next month you can earn the shopping spree. That's what I think you can do.
And just FYI, they actually like close down the store and you get like credit cards and you can just go on a spree. Who doesn't want to do that?
Okay, so we are going to wrap this Zoom up. We went a little bit longer than we were planning, but I think it's well worth it. And I feel like you're ready to know what to do this month to set those goals, and let's stay in touch and keep each other accountable. Don't just get excited about having a baby. Actually have the baby. It's going to take a bit of work, but you're going to actually have to go, like the baby will happen, but you got to accept the contractions. You got to accept the birth of that baby. So momentum doesn't necessarily feel fun. Wanting momentum feels fun, but having momentum feels a little bit more like dealing with your mind
Mhm.
and letting this happen. So
There's one thing that was told to me by a different diamond a little while ago when her team was in high momentum. She said, you can have one thing, control or chaos. And sometimes momentum feels like chaos. It's okay. Like right now, I feel like I'm dropping a whole bunch of balls and I'm telling my people, please tell me where I'm missing, right? That's fun. That's what we want. We don't want to be controlling and directing people into little boxes. Like Sherry said, come with the biggest bucket to God that you can lug there. That's going to make it happen.
okay, we're
All
gonna
right,
go.
guys.
Yay!
See
We
ya.
need music, Eva. I can't end these things without a good bit of music.